My girlfriend said you either accept it or don't when I asked her to cut back on spending my money. So I said I accept it and stopped paying for everything. What happened next destroyed her entire social media fantasy. I am Nathan, 31, software engineer in Denver, been with Chloe for 14 months, living together for 6. She is 28, works part-time at some boutique, always talking about becoming a lifestyle influencer. Chloe spends money like she is already Instagram famous. New outfit for every outing. $200 brunches where she takes 40 photos of avocado toast. Ubers everywhere because public transit ruins her aesthetic. I have been covering most of it because I make good money and thought I was being supportive. Last month I started tracking our expenses. Holy shit, you guys. She was burning through $3,000 a month on content creation costs. My house savings were disappearing faster than her followers could double tap. So last Tuesday, I brought it up gently, showed her the numbers, said maybe we could dial it back, save for our future. That is when she looked me dead in the eye and said, "Stop trying to fix me. This is who I am. You either accept it or don't." The way she said it, like I was some controlling monster for suggesting basic financial responsibility. So I looked right back and said, "I accept it." She smiled like she had won something. But here is what she didn't realize. I meant I accept that this is who she is. I accept she is going to keep spending. I just wasn't going to keep funding it. Next morning, I quietly removed her as an authorized user from my credit card, changed banking passwords, moved my emergency cash. I didn't tell her any of this. I just stopped volunteering to pay for things. Friday night, she wanted to go to this trendy rooftop bar. Usually I would hand over my card when the check came. This time, when she ordered $15 cocktails, I just sat there. The look on her face when they brought the check and I didn't move, pure panic. She laughed nervously and said, "Babe, aren't you going to?" And I shrugged. "You told me this is who you are. I am letting you be who you are." She had to call 3 friends before someone Venmo'd her money for the tab. Sunday she wanted her usual brunch spot for content. Got all dressed up with her ring light and phone tripod. "Ready?" she said. "Ready for what?" I asked. "Brunch. Obviously." "Oh, I am not going. Have fun." The confusion on her face. She genuinely couldn't process that I wasn't automatically funding her content creation routine. She went alone. Came back having ordered just coffee because she couldn't afford food. Spent the day posting vague stories about fake people showing their true colors. It has been 3 weeks now. She is borrowing from friends constantly. Maxed out credit cards I didn't know she had. Started doing weird deals with businesses for exposure instead of payment. Yesterday was the breaking point. She threw a girls' night at our apartment, posted about it like this: "Cute hosted event." I came home to 6 friends in my living room, expecting food and alcohol. Chloe was frantically texting about good wine and cheese boards from Whole Foods. So I moved all my food to the mini fridge in my office, put a lock on my liquor cabinet, left a note saying I was spending the evening at my buddy's place. The texts that night, pure rage mixed with bewilderment. Her friends left within an hour because there was nothing to eat or drink. She called me selfish. Said I was embarrassing her, sabotaging her friendships and ruining her reputation. Next morning she was crying at the kitchen table, not angry crying, genuinely sad, confused crying. "I don't understand what happened to you. You used to be so generous." That is when it hit me. She genuinely believes me paying for her entire lifestyle was generosity, not enabling her delusions. I am starting to see how deep this goes. She has built her entire identity around spending money she doesn't have. Her Instagram, friend group, daily routine, self-worth. It is all based on maintaining an image she cannot afford. I thought I was dating someone bad with money. Turns out I was funding someone's complete disconnection from reality. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Because I am watching this woman panic because she cannot afford her own life without my credit card. And I don't know if I am being reasonable or if I have turned into a monster. The messed up part, she still hasn't gotten a second job, still posts daily about her aesthetic lifestyle. She is just borrowing and charging and scrambling to maintain the illusion while acting like I am the problem. I said I accept this is who she is. I just never realized accepting it would mean watching her destroy herself trying to be someone she cannot afford to be. Update 1 for everyone, asking if Chloe got the hint after the girls' night disaster. She absolutely did not. She doubled down harder than I thought possible. The day after I posted, she cornered me with a different approach. sweet, apologetic, talking about working together and finding balance, even suggested making a budget together. I was hopeful for 48 hours. Then I checked my credit card statement. Remember how I removed her as an authorized user? Well, she had been using my card information for months. Memorized the numbers, expiration, security code. Over $300 in charges after I had cut off access, seamless orders, Instagram, ad purchases, even a subscription to some influencer analytics platform. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. Just shrugged. You changed the physical card access, but I still needed those things for my content strategy. Content strategy, like fraud, was part of her business plan. I called my bank, reported unauthorized charges, got new cards with different numbers, set up alerts for every transaction over $5. Her reaction was the 5 stages of grief, but for losing access to someone else's money. Denial, anger, bargaining with elaborate payment plans on notebook paper, depression with cryptic Instagram stories about betrayal. But acceptance never came. Instead, she entered the creative financing phase. Started selling designer clothes online, but only stuff I hadn't paid for. Made a deal with a local coffee shop to post about them for free drinks and pastries. Going there 3 times daily, eating off their sample trays. The barista Marcus clearly has a thing for her. Extra pastries, phone charging, business meetings, aka 4-hour selfie sessions. When I pointed out she was using his crush for free food, she acted like I was jealous. It is called networking, Nathan. Then she discovered returning things for store credit without receipts. Buy trendy clothes at Target. Take content photos, return everything next day. Used store credit for necessities like shampoo and toilet paper. Her entire wardrobe became a rotating rental system funded by return policies. The turning point came when she got clever with my stuff. Came home Tuesday to find her doing a tech review video with my PlayStation, laptop, camera equipment, full ring light setup, talking about testing gaming gear for lifestyle content. She waved me over. Hey babe, can you move? You are in the frame. I asked what she was doing with my stuff. Diversifying my content. Gaming and tech gets great engagement. Don't worry, I am being careful. Then she looked into the camera. So this setup is normally about $3,000. But I found this amazing deal. She was making up prices, pretending to review my belongings as if she had purchased them, creating fake tech content with equipment she would never paid for. That night, I moved all electronics to my locked office. Her response was an Instagram story about people who don't support your growth and recognizing when someone's insecurity holds back your potential. The comments were all her friends agreeing, telling her she deserved better, and I was threatened by her success. Success. She has $43 in checking, maxed credit cards, hasn't paid rent in 6 weeks, but somehow she is successful and I am the problem. Last weekend, she tried throwing another party, posted about it, invited 20 people, promoted it like an exclusive event. I wasn't there. Spent the night at my brother's. 4 people showed up. Chloe called it an intimate gathering, but everyone could tell she was mortified. She is not living beyond her means anymore. She is living beyond reality. I am realizing that saying I accept this as who you are wasn't the end. It was the beginning of seeing who she really is when nobody's paying for the performance. Update 2: Chloe has officially lost her mind. And I mean that literally. After my last update, I thought maybe she would hit rock bottom and start making changes. Apparently rock bottom was just the foundation for her next level of insanity. 2 days after my last post, she came home grinning like she had solved world hunger. Saturday me down like she was delivering life-changing news. Nathan, I figured it out. I don't need your money anymore. Relief washed over me. Maybe she had gotten a second job, or decided to move back with parents. I made a deal with Tanner. Tanner, the guy who owns that sports bar where college kids drink cheap beer and watch games. She had pitched him a social media partnership. Daily posts about his bar, bring friends for content creation sessions, tag locations, in exchange, free drinks and food whenever she wants. She was so proud, kept calling it influencer marketing and strategic partnerships, said it proved she didn't need anyone else's money. I asked how many followers she had. That is not the point. It is about engagement and authentic brand alignment. 234 followers. Worth unlimited free alcohol to a bar owner. Apparently for a week. Things seemed stable. She would go to Tanner's every evening, post stories with location tags, come home reasonably sober. Then she started coming home later, drunker, talking about Tanner constantly. How smart he was. How he understood the influencer economy. How refreshing it was to be around someone who supported her vision. Last Friday, she didn't come home at all. Saturday morning, she stumbled in around 11, same clothes, makeup smeared, reeking of cigarettes and cheap cologne. I was at the kitchen table with coffee, watching her try to sneak to the bedroom. "How was your night?" She froze. Turned around, still partially drunk. "Fine, just late networking." "You wouldn't understand." "Networking?" "Yes. Building relationships, expanding my brand presence." Then she started crying. Scared crying. He is not what I thought," she whispered. I asked what that meant. The deal wasn't just about posting, he expects other things. Says if I want to be serious about this partnership, I need to show I am committed. There it was, the natural consequence of treating your life like a transaction where everything has a price except your dignity. She had traded access to my money for free drinks, and discovered that free drinks from random bar owners come with different expectations. I looked at her standing there, mascara running, clutching her phone, and felt absolutely nothing. "You told me this is who you are. I am just letting you live it." She stared like I had slapped her. "That is it. That is all you are going to say. But a strategic business decision. You are building. This is what success looks like in the influencer economy." I used her exact words, and watching her face realized that was probably the cruelest thing I have ever done. She locked herself in the bedroom all weekend, posted vague stories about learning to value yourself, but nothing about her amazing bar partnership. Monday, I researched getting her removed as a tenant because this was never about money. Money was the symptom. Chloe doesn't want to be an influencer. She wants to be famous. She doesn't want independence. She wants someone else to pay for dress up and photos. She doesn't want a partner, she wants a sponsor. When I stopped being her sponsor, she found another one, except this time, the payment plan was more personal. Tuesday night, she tried talking about working things out and finding our way back, said she had learned about herself and was ready for real changes. I told her I was proud of her growth and thought she should continue it somewhere else. "I am giving you 30 days notice. You need to find somewhere else to live." The look on her face, like she couldn't process consequences for her choices, like she thought she could cycle through different people to fund her lifestyle indefinitely. "You cannot kick me out. I live here. You live here because I pay rent. You haven't contributed to household expenses in 2 months. That is because you cut me off. I cut you off from my money. You are welcome to spend your own however you want." Strategic crying. Performance sadness. "Please don't do this. I will change. I will get another job. I will pay everything back." 6 months ago, that might have worked, but I have spent 2 months watching her choose delusion over reality at every opportunity. Watching her manipulate friends, strangers, bar owners to avoid basic math. I don't want to fix her anymore. I just want her to be someone else's problem. Deadline is next Friday. She is alternating between trying to seduce me back and threatening to expose what kind of person I really am on social media. Last night she posted Instagram stories about financial abuse and controlling partners. Her friends are commenting with support, telling her she deserves better. They are right, she does deserve better. She deserves someone who shares her values. Someone who thinks $3,000 monthly on lifestyle content is reasonable. Someone who believes borrowing indefinitely is sustainable. She deserves someone who wants to sponsor her fantasy instead of expecting reality. That person isn't me. 5 more days, Reddit. Then this nightmare experiment in enabling complete disconnection from reality is over. I am excited to see what content she creates about moving back with parents at 28. Update 3, it is over. Reddit. And somehow ended more dramatically than expected. Chloe spent the entire month in denial, acting like the deadline was another controlling ultimatum she could ignore until I backed down. Wednesday night, 2 days before she was supposed to be out, I came home to find her throwing a party. A farewell tour party she had been promoting on Instagram for a week, complete with custom hashtag. She had invited 30 people to celebrate her next chapter. I walked into absolute chaos. People everywhere, music blasting, empty bottles covering surfaces, someone's vomit in my bathroom sink. Chloe waved like I was a late guest. "Nathan, perfect timing. We are doing group shots for the farewell post." I asked what the hell was happening. My going away party, obviously. Everyone wanted to celebrate before I leave for my next adventure. Next adventure? Getting kicked out for not paying rent was her next adventure. I called building security for noise violation, called police for trespassing, since none of these people had permission in my apartment. Security showed up first. Half the party cleared out immediately. Police arrived 20 minutes later. Chloe was screaming at remaining guests to stand their ground and not let him ruin this. I showed officers my lease, proved I was sole legal tenant, explained the unauthorized party after notice to vacate. Chloe argued she lived there too. Officer asked to see her name on the lease. The look when she realized she had never been a legal tenant anywhere was unforgettable. By midnight, everyone was gone except Chloe, me, 2 officers, and evidence of what 30 people had done to my apartment. Officer asked if I wanted to press charges for property damage. I looked at beer stains, broken picture frame, mysterious sticky substance covering my coffee table, and said yes. Chloe started crying, begging me not to ruin her life over one mistake. One mistake, like 3 months of fraud, manipulation, complete disrespect, was one tiny error. I told the officer I wanted her removed immediately and banned from returning. She completely lost it, started screaming about destroying her for social media content, and this being revenge for her being more successful. Accused me of calling police because I was jealous of her brand partnerships. Officer asked if she had somewhere to go. She needed to call her dad. Her dad arrived at 2 a.m. looking exhausted, took one look at the destroyed apartment, one look at his daughter arguing with police, and shook his head. How much? He asked. I told him about deposits, damaged furniture, noise complaints. He wrote a $1,500 check without arguing. Then he turned to Chloe. Get your stuff. You are coming home. She tried to negotiate. Just a few more days to figure out her next move. Maybe crash with friends. Her dad cut her off. Chloe, you are 28. You haven't paid rent in 3 months. You just threw a house party in someone else's apartment and got arrested for trespassing. Your mother and I are done enabling this. Arrested. I hadn't realized, but refusing to leave after being asked by tenant and police apparently qualifies. Her dad helped her pack while I documented damage. She kept explaining her brand strategy and platform building, but he wasn't hearing it. Last thing she said, this isn't over. Everyone's going to know what kind of person you really are. I looked at her, surrounded by trash bags of clothes I would paid for, moving back to her childhood bedroom after burning every bridge, and said, I hope they do. Her dad apologized on the way out, said they had tried teaching responsibility but clearly hadn't succeeded. Saturday morning, I woke up in my own apartment without wondering what fresh chaos would cost me money or dignity. Spent the weekend deep cleaning, replacing damaged items, changing locks. Monday started looking at condos. Everything she said was right. I am controlling. I want to control my own money, space, life. I want to control whether strangers throw parties in my apartment. I want to control whether my savings go toward a house or Instagram addiction. She was right that I don't understand the influencer economy. I don't understand calling yourself a business owner when your model is other people pay for everything. I don't understand claiming success when you cannot afford rent. Most importantly, I don't understand building an entire relationship around expecting someone else to fund your fantasy while contributing nothing but drama and debt. 3 weeks later, I found the perfect condo. 2 bedrooms. Converting one to home office. Great kitchen, downtown. Everything I had been saving for before Chloe. I am closing next month. Yes, I have been dating someone new. Emily's an accountant, which Chloe would call boring. She splits every bill to the penny, maintains detailed budgets, never expects me to fund her lifestyle. She has hobbies that don't require constant social media documentation, reads books, plays piano, volunteers at animal shelter, conversations about things other than follower counts. First dinner, she insisted on paying her own meal, said she preferred it because it meant we were both there by choice, not financial obligation. That is when I realized what I had been missing, the choice. Emily chooses to spend time with me. Chloe needed me to spend money on her. Last week, Emily asked to contribute to groceries since she had been staying over, asked about splitting a Costco membership. I almost cried. Someone actually wanted to contribute to our shared life instead of consuming it. As for Chloe, Her social media has been educational. First week, toxic relationships and escaping financial abuse. Decent sympathy from followers who didn't know the story. Week 2, finding yourself after betrayal with motivational quotes. Week 3, moving back home as self-care and focusing on personal growth. Spinning living with parents as deliberate choice. Week 4, reality started showing. Posts less frequent. Photos obviously in childhood bedroom, cropped to hide it. Lifestyle content disappeared, replaced by generic quotes over stock photos. Follower count dropping. Turns out people follow lifestyle influencers for lifestyle, not inspirational quotes about adversity. Last week, she posted about starting a job at her mom's insurance office, framed as exploring new industries and diversifying professional experience. Yesterday's post was the real kicker. Long caption about learning the value of financial independence and building a foundation for real success. She is working full-time now, has a budget, pays parents' rent for her childhood bedroom, drives her mom's old Honda instead of Ubers. She is finally living the life I had suggested all along. She just had to lose everything first to realize it was actually a good idea. Last night, Emily asked if I ever regret how things ended, if I wished I had tried harder. I told her the truth. I regret taking so long to realize that loving someone doesn't mean funding their delusions. I regret enabling self-destructive behavior for both of us. But I don't regret setting boundaries. I don't regret expecting adult behavior from an adult, and I definitely don't regret discovering that when you stop paying for someone's performance, you find out whether there is anything real underneath. Turns out there wasn't. But now I know what real looks like. With someone who wants to contribute instead of consume. Real is someone whose personality doesn't disappear when they cannot afford to maintain it. Real is someone who chooses to be with you, not someone who needs you to choose them. Chloe taught me that lesson in the most expensive way possible, but Emily gets to benefit from everything I learned. Thanks for sticking with me through this insanity, Reddit. Sometimes you have to let people show you exactly who they are instead of who you hope they could become. I finally learned how to listen,